everybody in the San Ramon soccer world. This is Dan Diodati, your strength and conditioning director. We're going to talk about week 2 strength and conditioning program, but before we get into the actual program, we're going to talk about things you may have in your house that can help you achieve these workouts. I'm going to start with the most basic and then get to the stuff that I know you have in your household. The first piece of equipment I'm going to talk about is a kettlebell. A kettlebell is definitely shaped like a cowbell, similar to that. The good thing about a kettlebell is it's small. You can do a lot of exercises just with this one kettlebell. You can grip it in different ways, on the top, or you can grip it underneath the actual ring portion, or you can grab it underneath the ball portion. That kettlebell allows you to do a lot of different exercises that you will be doing as we go forward. May not be in everybody's home. Dumbbells or regular actual weights. These are good possibility that these could be in everybody's home. If you do not have these, I suggest purchasing them with handles or different ways to grab them. Don't let this surface be solid. The holes, see how they roll? Pretty cool. The holes in there allow you to grab in different directions as well. So it's very universal. 2.5 pounds to as high as 45 pounds on these. I'm not asking you to go out and purchase equipment. I'm just hoping that you may have these. And if you don't and you want to, I can help you with that too. I can help you find that if there's any available. The third thing is a elastic band. Very useful in pulling and pushing exercises. The positive thing about elastic bands, it allows you to work the positive and the negative portion of the exercise. You just can't let it snap back after you pull it out. Okay? The fourth thing is actual dumbbells. These are probably 80% of the people probably have these in their home. They go from 2.5 pounds up to as high as 130 pounds each. Okay? So these dumbbells, you can do a lot of different exercises with these dumbbells, which will come up in the next who knows how long. Let's just go with 5 weeks. Now these are some household items that I know you have in your house because per the guidelines of the coronavirus, we're supposed to have these in our house. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Water bottles. These range from 16 ounces to 32 ounces. Good to use as individual dumbbells instead of the weights. It's obviously not going to be as heavy, but it is going to add resistance. Keep the water in there. Do not empty the water. That will take away the resistance. Something that may resemble a kettlebell would be a gallon of water. Okay, this is probably anywhere from 1.25 to 2 pounds, maybe even a little bit more than that. A lot of things that you can grip with 2 hands. You can also use the handle and grip it with 1 hand. Also, hot pot holders. These are great to use as sliders on a wood floor. Lunges, side lunges, anything that we can show you. But we will show you exercises that shows all this today. And also, in your next week, again, you're going to need 2 cones. Also, items around your household that you can consider using as weight are bags of potatoes, bags of sugar, canned foods. Anything that holds weight will work. Picking up a chair, okay, which we're going to go through next. Critical coaching points when it comes to doing a squat. Remember, the chair is here for safety. If you don't need the chair there for safety, then do the squat without the chair there. But make sure that these points are used correctly. The most important point would be to make sure that my hips go back before I go into the squat. As I lower myself down to the squat, I do not want to roll backwards. I want to keep the weight on my heels, not on the balls of my feet. Actually, if you curl your toes upward, That will help you stay on the heels. When I push up, I want to push my heels into the ground and then come out of the squat. For balance, you can extend your hands if you do not need to use weight. Or if you can't use weight, is probably a better way to say it. If you're going to use weight, then the weight in front of you will help balance yourself. Again, we went through the kettlebell. We did it with the water bottle. Okay? You can also do it with a regular weight, or you can also do it with a single dumbbell, which can be anywhere from 10 pounds to, again, as high as, I've seen them as high as 120 pounds. Let's not go that crazy. So the front squat, we go down into the squat, we come out of the squat, we push the weight up over our head. Down into the squat, out of the squat, push the weight over our head. So as we retract our hips back, it's important to retract them back forward before we push the weight up over the head. So we're going to get into the actual exercise portion of the week 2 strength and conditioning routine. First of all, before you start any of this exercise work, you want to make sure you start with a good, proper warm-up. It could be anything from jumping jacks to high knee raises to walking around your house, maybe the perimeter of your house. If you have stairs, include them in the warm-up. Don't exclude them. Big arm circles when you're walking forward, backward, across your body. Those will all help elevate the heart rate, maybe create a little bit of a sweat for you so that when you start doing the work, we are lowering the chance of injury, which is important when we're doing this over a video. Very important that you have a proper warm-up done before you get into the weight training. After that is complete, I'm going to now start with what the first exercise is going to be on your week 2 strength and conditioning routine. First exercise is a front squat and a full shoulder press. So we're going to use some of the equipment that I talked about earlier. So we're going to grab this kettlebell. I'll start with the kettlebell first. It's important that we are shoulder width apart with our legs and our toes are slightly open. We should line up directly in front of a chair. The chair would be used for somebody less experienced, maybe scared to fall to the floor. We're going to use that as a safety. So shoulder width apart, again, feet slightly open, toes pointing outwardly. You're going to take the kettlebell or whatever weight resistant piece of equipment you have, and you're going to perform the exercise. So the first movement is to rotate the hips backwards or retract the hips backwards, and then down into the chair. Important that the knee is behind the toe. Do not lean back into the chair, and then we come straight back out of the movement, and when we get to the top of the movement, we press the weight straight up into the air. Bring it right back down to the starting point, squat into the chair, midpoint, push out of the chair, and up, finishing point. Squat, push out, push up. Front squat, shoulder press. Again, you can do this with any piece of equipment. The bottle of water, same thing, hold it from the bottom. Hold it underneath your chin. Retract your hips back, squat down into the chair, push out, push the weight up over your head. Lateral accelerator. We will start legs wide, shoulder width a little bit beyond shoulder width apart. I'm going to lean down and touch the cone with my left hand. My heels never touch the ground. Let me reiterate. My heels never touch the ground. Reach down, squat down, touch the cone with my left hand. I'm then going to laterally move across to the other cone, which is about 4 yards away. Squat down and touch that with my right hand. Back to the other side. Squat down, touch. Squat down, touch. Some of the key components on the lateral movement is to not drag your foot, do not cross your foot, do not hop in the air, and do not click your heels. All those things slows you down as you move laterally. Another thing we want to talk about is do not get out onto your heel with your front foot as you're going across. Stay on the ball of your foot, pointed forward as we move laterally. Okay, the next exercise we are going to show you is called a sumo upright row. Sumo squat upright row. So the position is pretty similar to a regular front squat. The only difference is we angle the toes out further. Legs get a little bit wider, angle the toes out further. What's important in this movement compared to the regular squat is that your knees need to follow where your feet are. The line of your feet and your knee must be identical. So I'm going to grab a kettlebell again, and I'm going to put it in front of me this time. Here's the kettlebell in front of my body. I'm going to go down into the squat, and my knees are going to follow the same path as my feet. I'm going to come out of the squat, and I'm going to pull the weight up to my chin. Elbows need to flare out as we pull the weight up into my chin. Again, push outward with your knees so they stay in line with your toes. Come out of the squat, pull the weight up. By putting your feet out, angled, and having your legs a little bit wider, emphasizes the inner thigh of the quadricep. Okay? When we were doing the full squat in the beginning, that emphasizes the hamstrings and the front of your legs, which are called your quadriceps. The back are called your hamstrings. That's a little technical, although I know there's some kids out there looking it up right now. We can make sure that we get all of the leg muscle groups. Abductors, adductors, inner thigh, outer thigh. Okay, it's important that we bring those into play. And then again, it's a combination movement where we're doing upright row for your shoulders. So sumo squat is out, come out of it, pull up to your chin. So again, remember, there's a lot of different pieces of equipment to do these exercises that I'm showing you. I have a tendency to always grab the kettlebell. We don't all have that in our home. So remember, you can either do it with a dumbbell, same motion, sumo squat, pull it up. You can do it with a water bottle. This would be extremely light, but a 32-ounce water bottle might be a little tougher. Sumo squat down, pull it up to your chin. Okay? You can also do it with a resistance band. Take the band, widen your feet out, open your toes. Hold the weight here, do your sumo squat, come out of your sumo squat, pull up. Very similar. And these bands can be anywhere from easy, which are maybe like 2.5 pounds, to extremely tough, where this band probably gives you as much as 50 pounds of torque. Next exercise we're going to show you is sliding mountain climbers into a combination of a push-up. Okay, so what we need for sliding mountain climbers are 2 hot pot holders, or 2 furniture movers. Ones that are designed to go underneath couches that move on hardwood floors, those slide excellently. But if you don't have those, 2 hot pot holders, which I'm sure every kitchen probably has. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to place these pot holders on the ground. And then I'm going to step on the ends of the pot holders, and then I'm going to put myself into a plank position, push-up plank position. Very important when you're in your plank that your shoulders to your hips and to your heels is a straight line that you can see in this camera over here. As we stay in this plank position, I am then going to, at one leg at a time, bring it toward my chest. Bring my knee to my chest. And then bring it back. And alternate your legs until you get yourself into a little bit of a faster motion. And you're going to hold that for 15 seconds. After you do it for 15 seconds, you will maintain that plank and then go into a push-up. And then you take a break, come to your knees. Modifications for those exercises are to stay on your knees and then bring your legs up, the back and bottom of your legs, your feet off of the hot pot holders, and then do your push-up. That's a modification. The important part is to make sure you are flat from your hips to your shoulders when doing the push-up. So again, toes on the hot pot holders, bring them up one at a time, and then slide them through. Complete the movement, push-up. Getting a little tough. And come out of the movement. Okay, for the sliding mountain climbers and the combination push-up, I'm going to bring Coach Dragon out, and he's going to demonstrate as I make coaching points. Okay, so the first thing he's going to do is stand behind the pot holders and put his toes onto the back of the pot holders. Now he's going to go into a push-up position. And the important part that we're going to do here is to make sure his shoulders, his hips are down and in line with his heels. That must be a straight line. Hips are down. That must be a straight line. Okay? One leg at a time, he's going to bend the knee and bring it towards the chest, slowly. Part A, and he's going to alternate between the two legs. As he gets comfortable with that movement, he is going to pick up the speed. But it's important that we try to keep the hips down. The knees need to stay inside the frame of the body. If you see your knees going outside your arms, make a correction and have that correct knee punch going straight at your chest and back, fluid. And as you can see, he's getting into more of a faster pace now. After you perform the 15 seconds of mountain climbers, you will then be still in that plank position, holding down, and now you perform whatever amount of push-ups you would like. We want to get a little deeper into that push-up so your chest actually makes contact with the ground. There you go. So another thing we can do, come on back now, Dragon, stay there. We can modify the push-up. We can modify the push-up with the chair, okay? And the mountain climbers. Okay, so we're going to get the same position, a little bit behind the hot pot holders, step onto the hot pot holders, and then bring yourself out to the chair. And then make the adjustment. It's easier to make an adjustment with your feet. Okay, so now you can still do the mountain climbers while you're a little bit more upright, easier to perform the push-up. You got to press down a little bit and then go ahead and do your push-up. Good. So the chair is going to give you a little bit more of a beginner aspect as far as performing the push-up and performing the mountain climbers.